Hey neighbors, in today's video we're going to be cooking kokomin, which is a really hearty, very classical French dish. Chicken, red wine, goes really great with mashed potatoes or rice. It's one of my favorite French dishes to cook, and it was made very popular by Julia Child, and it is in one of her cookbooks. So I hope you enjoy. After this, we'll put the recipe up on the screen, and then we'll go right into some short clips on the different steps of the video so you can see how to make it. I hope you enjoy.
All right, we're going to start by rendering the bacon. Rendering just means cooking medium high, medium low, kind of just depends, heat that will just melt the fat without burning the bacon. We're going to cut them in lardoons. Lardoon is just a term that means they're cut in kind of like a ribbon shaped. So they're not squares, it's not diced, it's just a ribbon. We'll remove the bacon from the pan, and using the bacon fat, we're going to put the seasoned and lightly dusted floured chicken into the pot. You want to take your time here. This could take 20, 30 minutes. You don't want to go too high of a heat. The goal here is to brown the chicken. So as you can see, it's now browned a little bit. We want the chicken to get a nice caramelized browned color on the outside. At this point, you don't really have to worry about the chicken cooking through. That's going to happen later. We just want a nice crust on the outside. Once we do that, remove the chicken from the pan, still using that same fat. We're going to put the mushrooms and the garlic in the pan. We're going to just saute those, stir them around. You'll notice that when you add them, these two things have high water content, so they're just going to kind of pull those bits of caramelized food pieces off the bottom of that pot, which is going to add a great flavor to the dish later. As you can see, the mushrooms have now cooked. They're quite soft. We're going to add the chicken back to the pot. So you see, we haven't turned the heat off the pot. We're kind of leaving it on like a medium-low heat. You'll want to see a pot about this size. You don't want to overcrowd and have everything on top of each other, but you also kind of want it tight like this so that everything is kind of covered the way it should be. So you see that the chicken fits in the pot nicely. The chicken is there. We've got it simmering. We've turned up the heat just a touch, because now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add the cognac. The cognac is going to add just a nice little bit of a flavor there. So cognac is only about a shot for the size of this dish. So as you see, we're adding the cognac there. You can flambe if it's safe to do so. You'll want to use a click lighter, and you'll see in this video that we did not flambe the dish, but you can. In just a couple of seconds, the cognac, the alcohol would kind of cook off a little bit. And at this point, we'll be adding our red wine. So I suggest using a red wine that you really enjoy drinking. This particular dish, we're using Cabernet Sauvignon. So I'm going to go ahead and add that wine now. So we've added the wine. The next step here with the wine is to go ahead and add the tomato paste. You see the tomato paste there. We're going to go ahead and then mix it in evenly and let that kind of dissolve throughout that. So now we've got it simmering. We want the wine to come to what's called semi-sec. Semi-sec just means almost dry or close to dry. So as you see, it's now quite reduced. It's thickened. It's darkened in color. And at that point, we're going to add the bay leaf and the thyme. You see the bay leaf and the thyme there. We'll then add our beef stock. Now we're going to add the pearl onions and the cooked bacon into the pot. At this point, we'll put the lid on it, and this is going to now braise in the oven for about an hour at 300 degrees. You can wrap it with foil if you don't have the lid, and now you see it's out of the oven. We're going to remove the chicken from the pot and put the pot back on the stove. If the sauce is too thin or you want it a little bit richer or thicker, you can just let it simmer as you see here. Now I've gotten to a nice thick consistency. We're going to melt in our monte beurre, which means mount our butter. We're just going to mount the butter in there and just stir it gently until the butter is completely melted. You go ahead and season it with salt and pepper. And once you've got it, you serve it over your chicken with your favorite side dish. We hope you enjoy. Bon appetit.